It's time now move to the distinguished gentleman from Louisiana, recognized for 5 minutes, Mr. Higgins.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I thank our panelists for being here today. To talk about this, it's a very frustrating conversation you have back home. You know, most of us do a lot of town halls. I certainly do. Sometimes my town halls last 3.5 hours, 4 hours, and unscripted. You're talking to American citizens that are struggling, man. You know, we're having a hard time buying groceries, paying rent. And we have, allegedly, you know, we have built a beautiful nation wherein we, the people, run things. And they're not feeling like that. The American people are feeling discarded. They're feeling like that their struggles get lip service, and their financial woes are further injured by big policies out of the elite rulers of D.C. I'm just telling you, this is some of the levels of pain that if you're a compassionate American, you're listening very carefully to the citizens that you've sworn to serve, this is what you're hearing. And one of the common refrains that we listen to with our constituents and share that concern is the level of fraud and fraudulent payments coming out of the federal government, totaling billions and billions of dollars, depending upon what study you look at, what period of time. It's a lot of money. And, you know, my constituents are looking at the cost of eggs and bread and can't make it, and they see, oh, the IRS sent, you know, 3,000 refunds to the same address. This kind of thing requires accountability, ladies and gentlemen, and the way Americans like me measure accountability is somebody in jail in a small cell getting their next meal of bread and eggs through a small hole in a steel door. That's how we measure accountability. We've had enough of this theft of our treasure. So it's not a comfortable conversation that we're engaged in, but this may be one of the most uniting topics that I share with my colleagues across the aisle. Like, we demand an end to this, and we insist upon accountability. Mr. Horowitz, if I could, regarding the Pandemic Response Accountability Committee, so you can throw that switch in your brilliant mind, and we appreciate you being here today. What, if anything, do our agencies and IGs need to help combat the billions of dollars of fraudulent and improper payments? And I'll give you a broad question like that for you to share with America what you feel the problems are, how they can be addressed. But it's a lot of money that we've invested to respond to the pandemic, and it makes us quite angry when that money is stolen and then nothing's done about it. Yep. What can we do better?
There are many things to be done. First of all, I'll mention for several IGs, like the Small Business IG, the Labor Department IG, they are suffering from an inability to pursue all of the fraud and hold people accountable that you mentioned because they haven't been funded sufficiently to go after that fraud. That's one of the things I know they've been asking for, and so I'll just mention there are some IGs that are having that challenge. From a broader standpoint, The key is, as was mentioned, prevention. We need to take common sense steps to ensure this kind of activity is prevented up front. Because we can put a lot of people in jail for stealing the money after they've stolen the money, but that's not what people want. First and foremost, they want it stopped, right? They don't want the money going out to the fraudster. What drives them crazy, as you said, is Social Security Administration is sitting on a death master file index to know if someone's living or dead, right? Pandemic hits, checks go out from the IRS and the Treasury Department to people who are dead. How does that happen? SBA sends loan money that's intended for small businesses to people who are dead. How does that happen, right? That's what I think, in many respects, drives people even crazier. It's both the prevention up front that needs to happen, and as you said, on the back end, we can't let fraudsters get away with it. Because if we let fraudsters get away with it, we've done a couple of things. We've trained fraudsters, come back, because you'll get away with it. And, you know, as we all grew up being told by our parents, crime can never pay, right? There has to be a consequence to it.
Yes, sir.
I think on both sides.
Thank you for your insightful answer. My time has expired, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for the indulgence.